Bitcoin is finally breaking out of the chop we've been in for a while now, and today I've got a list of altcoins I want you guys to keep a very close eye on because these are ones that are already moving with Bitcoin, which is completely irregular to what most altcoins are doing, meaning they are showing signs of strength with Bitcoin. So you can only imagine what Altseason will do for them. Now, in addition to giving you some of these altcoins today, what I think is more important is discussing what the two main scenarios that may play out in the short to mid-term before we have that massive alt rally. Stay tuned. This is going to be a really important video, I think, for everyone to watch. And do not forget, if you find yourself enjoying this or want to support all the work that goes into daily crypto content, hit that like button, of course, and subscribe, guys. That way, you'll be glued in to the most important altcoins and the crypto market updates every single week. Now, what I want to point out first and foremost is the interest in crypto has begun to tick up again. That's a very good sign, of course, indicative with large price movements for Bitcoin. Now, what you have to understand is Bitcoin is like the universal bell. When that thing starts ringing, altcoins don't really typically move up with it. It sucks the market away from altcoins. Its market dominance grows. And you find a situation like this where Bitcoin is up almost 7% on the week and most altcoins are down. Okay, most of them are down, bar a few. So, of course, I want to point out the ones that I'm looking at here today in that sense. This was a very obvious, I believe, of course, everything's obvious in retrospect, but I do believe it was a pretty obvious situation that has played out here in October. A month ago, October the 2nd, I said, guys, look, September was a very bullish month indeed, completely irregular from pretty much every other cycle we've had so far. And that would mean that October, being generally a very bullish month, is going to likely experience short-term negative effects, which we, of course, had. And, of course, right towards the trail end here, as I said in that video, we would begin going up, okay? So it's obviously played out correctly because at the end of the day, in crypto, a highly speculative market, usually, if you're in this market for a while, like I've been, you tend to realize that there's always something else bubbling underneath the surface. It is complete opposite to what the whales want you to basically believe. Whatever the articles are printing, you can damn well believe they want to push you in either direction to either buy when you're selling or sell when you're buying. We're going to get to these two main questions here before we get into these altcoins because this is something you have to understand if you are investing in crypto right now. I don't care about anything else you're doing. You're buying meme coins, micro caps, large caps, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't care what you're doing. You have to understand these two scenarios. And I've actually called it out in a recent video as well. Okay, but I want to point this out, guys. There's been a lot of discussions on Twitter. And by the way, this is a very good discussion here around what's happening right now. We have Bear Market Mommy, never heard of this person before, but she was basically saying that, guys, altcoins are falling and Bitcoin is growing. That seems scary, okay? It seems like this isn't a real move up. But like Crypto Caesar says here, this is completely normal. Alts are always pushing down when Bitcoin goes up. Like I said, it's the universal bell. Everything goes into Bitcoin, alts get smashed, everything goes into the asset that everyone thinks is going to go up, okay, because it can make some quick, easy money. And then what happens, that goes up and up and up. When Bitcoin has hit a certain dominance percentage, which I'll talk about here in a moment, it comes down and alts get fed that money. Technically speaking, first Ethereum gets that money, but alts do get that money soon after. Now, this is Bitcoin's dominance chart right here. And by the way, I've spoken about this in the last 3 weeks a lot, okay? So if you're on the channel, you would know all this stuff already. That's why it's very important you're subscribed, guys. Very important because you would know all this stuff already, all right? So Bitcoin's dominance now is just almost beneath 60%. Now, 60% is where everyone's eyeing off to be the sort of level in which we can expect maybe Bitcoin to possibly fall down a bit, giving alts some time to breathe. I disagree. I think Bitcoin's probably going to have to go a bit higher than 60% for that to actually happen. We're almost there right now. And I think roughly speaking around 62.5% to maybe 67%, probably not quite 70% like history. We will then have Bitcoin top out, fall down, and money will flow into Ethereum, into altcoins, and so on, okay? But this purple line here is Solana. Now, I've pointed out a few times to you guys, Solana is most definitely an altcoin to keep an eye out in this particular cycle. Why? Well, because it's mirroring Bitcoin's price performance and therefore dominance. It's highly correlated for some reason. I'm always calling Solana a super coin. The reason being is because it's still an altcoin, but it's following Bitcoin's dominance. It's growing with Bitcoin when altcoins are actually going down. So on CoinMarketCap, you can see Bitcoin here is up 6% on the week, and Solana is pretty much the same as well. Now, you have outliers like Doge, of course, being running into the meme coin super cycle theory that's going around right now, and a few others, but most of these coins aren't performing like this, okay? Most of them aren't. And again, I think Solana is definitely, to give you guys a sort of head start here, is one to keep an eye on, because if Solana continues to go up with Bitcoin, and when it's alt season and Bitcoin yields towards alts, Bitcoin falls down, if we toggle the alts here and alts go up, if Solana now doesn't fall with Bitcoin and continues to go up with alts, it's a super coin in my eyes. It's benefiting from the Bitcoin season and it's benefiting from alt season. So right now, of course, we are in Bitcoin season, meaning that it's obviously better to be more hedged into Bitcoin. And then when Bitcoin goes up and up and up, maybe to around $80, $90, $100,000 and begins losing dominance, the dominance starts trailing away and then yielding towards Ethereum and altcoins. Again, I've mentioned this in many different videos these days. That's when this chart will spike towards alt season. And of course, we'll have that massive beginning of the altcoin season. We haven't actually had an altcoin season yet. This was maybe argued as an alt season, but I think it was a very, very small version of what we're going to be having here in the next few months. Now, I made a video 6 days ago. It wasn't received amazingly well from a lot of people because I said I'm not buying altcoins right now because I see two very obvious and glaring situations playing out. What are these two situations? And I think we're in one of them right now. The first one is Bitcoin's dominance is going to increase. As we pointed out, it actually is. It's doing this, right? So we can see it in real time. It's now up to just under 60%. It's then going to pretty much validate the bull market. In the meantime, of course, pulling attention and money away from altcoins. Keep that in mind, which is going to, number 3 here, give us a good chance to buy altcoins until we see a breakdown of Bitcoin's dominance, which is always an indication that we will have a change of hands, so to speak. Usually Bitcoin falls down to around about 40% dominance. That actually, when it touches there and comes back up, that right there actually signals the top of the market because alts and Ethereum from that point in time usually remain and stay in favor. Bitcoin kind of still moves up in price, of course, but its dominance never really spikes to those highs again because, again, it triggers the bull run. It tells everyone around the world, get in, make some money on Bitcoin, and then get into altcoins for the rest of the cycle. That's what we're waiting for in number 1. And that gives us a window of around 7 days to a month, I believe, of limbo with altcoins moving sideways to get into some of these positions. So we don't have to stress about throwing our money in and trying to ape in now because Bitcoin's going up. Situation 2, which could still happen, by the way, is we're actually, number 1, pricing a Donald J. Trump win in right now. Forget politics. Let's just talk about stacks, okay? Now, I think that what this could be insinuating here is people predicting and estimating that he will win. Right now on poly markets, it's a very, very strong favor towards him winning. On the day of the election, even with a win on Donald J. Trump, price will move down, shocking people, mixing with possibly other news. Whales might, invoke fear. Hey guys, remember Tether? Hey, guess what? Tether still hasn't verified all of their reserves. They'll make something up. Always happens. This could be one of those classic crypto situations. And then in that sense, Bitcoin dominance will remain above 55%, but less than 60%, where it's pretty much been ranging here for a while. And altcoins will, of course, drop with it. So Bitcoin will hold its own. It's not as though we're going to have money flow out of Bitcoin into alts as this happens. Bitcoin will fall, alts will fall. It'll be a typical crash. And guess what? It'll be a great buying opportunity. So I think in both of these situations, no matter what, we have a bit more time. Relax, breathe. I think, not financial advice. No matter what happens, I'm holding a bit of my cash right now and I'm not buying just yet, waiting for a clear direction in what is about to happen. Okay, there's no point in FOMOing, in my personal opinion. Dollar cost averaging wins. You don't want to just go, I'm going to go out completely, or hey, I'm going to throw my money in. Find a middle ground, DCA. Now, I'm not throwing any money in because I have about 98% of my entire crypto portfolio in right now. So I'm not going to DCA. I'm fine. I'm in the market more than you would expect. So I don't need to play a DCA game, in my personal opinion. And I actually do believe when this does happen, guys, when either direction happens and we have money flow into altcoins, again, whether Bitcoin's dominance begins to break down or that happens over a longer period of time if the market crashes first, the rotation from memes to utility will catch people off guard. People are screaming right now for meme coin supercycle, meme coin supercycle. This is a meme in of itself and it's doing really, really well. And it will continue to do well, okay? But we can't, sort of say that utility coins, Wormhole, Pith, ICP aren't going to do well. They're going to do well. And many people are over ambitious on meme coins just being the single best performing narrative of the bull run. It may be the best on average, but you can't tell me you still can't make a massive amount of gains with these altcoins as well. And let me remind you, we have a lot of money flowing into the crypto space based on the current dominance levels. So pretty much breaking up in terms of market cap numbers and levels, the current global market cap of 2.5 trillion. If we have a look at, let's say, the top 90 coins, right? So number 100, coin all the way up to number 11. So if we scroll way down here, all the way from Tezos right up to number 11, which is Cardano, and including Cardano, we have about $210 billion in just those 90 coins. Now, given the dominance overall in that 90 coins is 8.37% of the whole market. If we carry that 8.3% over and we go and forecast a 10 trillion market cap, we got $840 billion in just these 90 coins, guys. We have a lot of money to still be made in a small amount of coins. Now, if we compare that to coin 1,000 to way down to coin 30,000, there's roughly speaking 31,000 coins in the market, you're dealing with a total of about 97% of all coins that are going to have accumulation of around about $270 billion. That's a lot of money still, don't get me wrong, but a lot of those will be scams. A lot of those are fake fugazi. Matter of fact, there's more than 31,000 coins. Apparently, there's like 2.5 million. So all I'm trying to say here, guys, is these large caps have still a massive room to grow. People saying that some of these coins on average can only 3 or 4x, I think haven't experienced a bull run before or are just trying to be very conservative with their prices. Now, let me tell you right now, I think in these 90 coins over here where we're kind of forecasting based on a 10 trillion global market cap, I think that these 90 coins will see more than $800 billion if we go to 10 trillion global market cap. The reason being is just simply because the top 10 dominance right now is 85%. We include USDC, USDT, we include Bitcoin and Ethereum. These will all have money sucked out of it into mainly the top 500 coins and mainly at the top 90, again from 11 to 100. So we're going to probably go over $1 trillion in this example into these coins. As a matter of fact, if we even go to a lower side of 7 trillion global market cap, we're probably going to expect, I'd probably say around $1 trillion in these coins at a given point in time. So we can't fade them, okay? It's simply the altcoin path to Altseason water flow chart. Bitcoin will pump like it's doing right now, then it'll go to Ethereum. Ethereum will pump, then large caps, and then it'll find narratives, and then in the narratives, we'll go and kind of siphon down and then back up into a new narrative and so on. So what are the coins I'm looking for, guys? Well, again, they're the ones that have been performing relative to Bitcoin. Okay, so we can come to, again, one of the sheets on the bull run cheat sheet here and have a look at the 24-hour and the 7-day, 30-day, and so on. Now, I'm looking at the 7-day mainly because this has only happened in the last week, and we're looking for the ones that are up the most, basically. Now, this isn't the only sort of piece of logic, if you will, that I'm looking to verify whether a coin is going to be good or not, but it's one of the things I'm looking at as well. So again, in any sense, keep an eye on these coins. I'm not telling you to buy them right now and FOMO and buy just because they're up. Oh my gosh, they're up 10, 20% already on the last few days or last week. Keep an eye on them, okay? And if we do decide to come down, if Bitcoin then sucks up to $80,000, $90,000, or we all come crashing down, these are the ones that have just recently reacted well, so they should react very well when it is alt season. One is Aerodrome Finance. This one, in my opinion, is going to shock the market. I can't say good enough things about Aerodrome. Highest revenue in the entire space, definitely highest revenue in terms of any DeFi product, and it gives it all back to its voted escrow token holders. We have, of course, Superverse over here. Now, I don't really talk about this coin much, but I have to admit, sort of a very strong cultish community, and we're always going to have this coin spoken about by Elio Trades and also, of course, Becca. And when all this new money comes in, guys, guess what? They're going to the big influencers, and the big influencers are pumping super huge. And it's, of course, in gaming. Next is XLR, guys. No one talks about XLR. It's an interoperability project. This is in all, I've got a video coming out this soon, actually, of the massive whale wallets, right? And all the big influencer wallets. It's in I personally own it, but until these guys started coming out with what they're holding recently, I'm like, you guys are all holding XLR too. Let's get to the bottom of it, okay? And it's reacting quite well right now as well. AOS, really reacting well. Ondo Finance, this is reacting very well as well. I think this coin has a lot to still go. I think we see easily over a $5, $6, $7 token. Of course, not financial advice. Now, Chainlink hasn't done amazingly well from $10.90 to $11.50. So not even up basically $1. But the reason I've added it here is because it's just so widely successful. It's in so many key narratives. This coin, I think, is going to react. It's somewhat reacted, not as much as the other coins, but it's just all in the right places, guys. It's going to really shock people like it did pretty much back over here. No one was talking about it. It was ranging between like $4.50 to $5.50 for ages, and then it pumped. It's going to happen again, I do believe. Near Protocol, same sort of situation as Chainlink. I think this coin has got a lot to grow. Actually, they just came out with a really, really big update regarding AI, so I think we have a lot to still see here regarding AI for Near Protocol. AI coins aren't that amazing right now. They're not really performing well, but we know they react well when the market begins to flip. So you can only imagine what they're going to do in alt season. Okay, same respects ICP as well. FET, I think more people are catching on to the possibility here with FET. Also Render again, similar to Chainlink, and of course similar to Near Protocol. Hasn't reacted amazingly, but I think we're going for a really big treat here with Render. I'm going to probably get close to comparing this with Solana's growth in the last cycle. Solana, from the current point with Render, actually went up like a further 20 or 30x from this point in time. It was incredible growth, and I think it's very similar to that. We also have, of course, Aave over here. a DeFi product. A lot of people love Aave, and I can't blame them. A lot of good things to say about this coin. The FDV sort of meme in this case is really, really a big tick for Aave, so people, I think, are going to gravitate towards it on a surface level. We also have ThorChain smashing it, actually probably one of the best performers so far on this list. We have none other than Pyth. Pyth's reacting quite well to this news as well. And last but not least, Tao. Okay, so you guys love these coins, and I think that's indicative of the fact that they're up right now because they have very strong communities. And in crypto, it is all about community. All about community. If you have no community, or if you unfortunately find a way to tarnish the reputation of your community, you're going to find the coin doesn't do well, or it takes a lot of effort to bring it back up to a shadow of what it once was. So with that being said, guys, these are the ones I'm watching. They've reacted well. This is my thoughts on the market right now. Let me know what you think down below. And of course, make sure you are subscribed. And if you made it this far, hit that like button. I will talk to you all soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.